Welcome back to another video on Gran Turismo Sport. Yes, we're back with the Jev USA account in our Making Dodge Great Again series. Now this video is a lesson. It's a lesson to pay more attention when racing. So usually when I'm doing dailies or whatever, I usually have YouTube on in the background or some music playing. And unfortunately for us, I had a YouTube video open in the background. I think it was freaking PewDiePie playing some damn Minecraft. As we do see, there is another Dodge Viper in this race, so we do want to be the top Dodge in this race. So we'll monitor that as we go through it. But coming onto our outlap then, we are going to notice something very, very damaging. Those with eagle eyes amongst you may have seen it as we came out of the pits, but yes, we have got racing hards on when there is the racing mediums available for qualifying. So that is a big freaking oopsie. That's a massive oopsie. Obviously, the hard tyres are a second, maybe 2 seconds slower than the medium tyre around the track. So I did one lap anyway, just to see what the pace was. And coming across the line, it is a 1:43.582. Now the fast boys, or the faster people, are doing it much, much quicker than that. So we continue, we complete that lap, dive into the pits, slam on the mediums. Dodge Viper boys working very hard in the pit lane. And we come to our flying lap then. This is our fastest lap on the track. So what can we do? Let's go for a little run through of the track. Coming through here, I found it was more stable going through there in third. When I went to second, it sort of unstabled the car and made it a little bit twitchy. So my inconsistency of T1 really affected me through the race. This left-right here need to be treated a little bit differently than maybe a singular corner. That left-hander needs to be used to set up the right-hander. So if you go in narrower on the left-hander, you're going to have a better line through the right-hander, if that makes any sense. Purple sector then, and coming into this left-hand corner, you have to be really patient about when you're going to get on the accelerator. It's a blind corner, so you've just got to trust your gut and trust you know when to put on the accelerator so you don't run wide into that wall, because then that will affect your run up this hill, which can be very, very damaging to your overall lap time. Braking just before the hundo board, the Dodge doesn't really have the best brakes in the world, so comparing it to the Mazda Atenza that I drove on the European servers, the braking distances are vastly different. It's got to be a 5 to 10 meter difference. As we set another purple sector and coming through this left corner here, it's very easy to do this. Yes, just run wide onto the grass, hit the wall, lose a ton of time. If you just coast a little bit and then get back on the power, that should be enough to get your car turned in and around that corner safely. The last left hairpin then, very important, as it gives you this run onto the start-finish straight, which is all flat out last corner then, if you get the entry angle correctly. And a nice little bit of a toe there from the Toyota. He stayed out a little bit longer there just to give me a little bit more slip. Very nice, thanks Mr. Toyota. And a 1:42.446, and that is going to be good enough for 7th place, 1/10 off of the other Viper as well. And if we didn't have that little oopsie going into the wall coming through that fast left-hand corner, I think we would have got it. But there we go, lessons learned. Obviously the mix-up with the hard tyre at the start of the session as well didn't help our cause. Otherwise, you know, we could have got a better banker in, maybe burn some more fuel. Who knows? But there we go, that's what we get for not paying attention. So we do come to the start of the race then. Oh yeah, soak it in, soak those vocals in. Yeah, that's enough of that. So starting in 7th then, and look, bloody look, chat. What am I doing? What am I doing? I am 100% blaming PewDiePie and his hilarious Minecraft videos. But we are on the hard tyres, so we're going to be 1 to 2 seconds off the pace each lap, but it might give us better tyres by the end of the race. This race is a no stop, so we don't have to worry about fuel, we just have to worry about tyre management. But what an absolute rookie error. So this is it. This is our race tip. Pay attention. For the love of God, pay attention to the race. Is there fuel saving? How long is the race? What are the other cars I'm driving against? What tyres do I bloody need to use? What's the fuel strategy? Do I need to change my brake bias to be more effective in the race? All this kind of stuff adds up to give you the best opportunity to get the best position at the end of the race. And it's all down to personal preference. I might like driving a car with +2 brake bias, and someone else might like it driving it with 0. You got to find your own medium, your own perfect zone to operate in. I personally don't like racing with music on in the background because I can't hear the engine of the car, and that sort of affects how I change gear or go into corners or whatever it is. But other people really excel when they listen to music. I'd actually be really interested to see what you guys do in the comment section below. Do you listen to music? Do you watch something else? What do you do? Are you listening to podcasts, or are you solely focusing on the race in hand? As the Atenza then makes a little bit of a mistake, we are up the inside into the final hairpin corner, and we get a nice run out as well. See, that little short shift to second gave us better traction to get a much better exit. Now, are we going to be able to hold it into the final corner? Yes, we are, and we're going to sweep around and settle into 6th position. So up 1 position on the first lap, but we are losing time to that top group of cars. As we skip forward to the start of lap 3 now, as we caught them just a little bit. Not too much, but we did catch them just a little bit. As we see the Dodge Viper, the other Dodge, has dropped down a place as well. He's gone from 4th to 5th, so he might be struggling with the car. Maybe. We all know the Dodge isn't the fastest. But who knows, he could have just had a poor lap, just like the Atenza did on the first lap. But it is good news for us because we are now in the slipstreaming zone, proximity, whatever it is. So it is pulling us along a little bit, and hopefully that is just going to help us squeeze up towards the back of this pack. And then we can start challenging for some places. Later on in the lap then, Dodge maybe just misses his braking point and has to throw it up the inside. A little bit of contact there with the Toyota. That's going to slow them both down. You can see the gap between 4th and 3rd now just opening as they travel 2 by 2, climbing up the hill here into this fast sweeping section of corners, but have been slowed down from the start of that climb, which is good for us because it's just pulled them back towards us, and now we are firmly in that suck zone. Final corner then, or final hairpin corner. Must get a nice run out of here. We kind of do, but our tyre gets caught on the grass, and we're going to go into the wall and then get a kind boost from the Atenza behind us. Very lucky. One, not to spin when we hit the wall. We see it so many times. Whenever you make a impact with the wall, your car just sort of spins round sort of unnaturally. But then we get another bit of luck being hit into by the Atenza, so we didn't lose that much time. We did obviously lose time, but not a tremendous amount. And also how we came away from that with no damage on our body as well is once again extremely lucky. So jumping forward to lap 6 now, and it seems like the Viper in front of us is having some tyre issues now. Maybe those tyres are acting up, maybe they're a little bit worn, so seems like he's sliding around, but that's going to be very good for us obviously because we have the better tyres. Coming through this right-hander here then, keeping it in 3rd like we should. We get a much better exit as once again the DNA driver gets a little bit wiggly coming out there, and we're going to go for the around the outside move on this left-hand corner here. Can we keep it? Oh, I thought he was going to come across there, so a little bit of a correction, but we've made it stick around the outside. That is purely down to, well, 1, driver skill, but 2, the amount of grip in the tyres sort of enabled us to do that. So up into 5th position now, that's a gain of 2, and we've overtaken the other Dodge driver. So that was kind of my number 1 goal of the race, was to try and finish ahead of the other Dodge driver, and we are doing that right now. And to be honest, I thought we were going to slide down the order being on the hard tyres, but obviously it's not too bad. We're doing pretty well as we come through that left-hander there, just touching the grass. Really struggled with that corner end game, as you will find out very soon. As we come on to the final lap then, we have a 1.2 second gap to the car behind, and the cars in front have kind of pulled away from me a little bit. I made a couple of mistakes on the 7th lap which opened up the gap between us, so I kind of just sort of settled in, sort of took my mind off it a little bit, and we all know what can happen to drivers when they become complacent. So it's one of those things. I keep talking about my late game performance. So what happens at the end of races, the last couple of laps, my head always kind of just goes off. I kind of think that, oh, I've done the hard bit, I've done the hard work, and then it's just gonna, the last couple of laps are just gonna happen themselves. But no, you've got to push, you've got to be consistent, you've got to see the race out 100%. And I have struggled to do that for months now. So that is something that I really have to actively focus on and actively try to improve in my racecraft. And I hear you say, but James, this is the last lap and you're driving pretty consistently. And I would agree with you, yes. Up until this next corner, I turn in too early, find two wheels on the inside on the grass, and that's just going to make my car slide. Sliding into the wall, losing a ton of time. As we see the other Dodge driver now going around the outside, I've gone to the inside to be defensive, and I've missed my braking point. Going to the inside, I forgot that I was going to be closer to the apex, therefore my braking distances should have changed. I went deep. He got the cutback, and now it's a drag race to the line. Coming through the final corner then, we do get a better angle of entry and exit, and we are now in the slipstream, drag race to the line, but it's not going to be enough, and we're going to have to settle for 6th. Well done to the other Viper driver. I don't know whether to be happy or sad about that result. Yes, we did well because we were on hard tyres, but we should have probably finished out in 5th ahead of the other Dodge driver there. But anyway, that is the most points that we've got for Dodge, 1,136. That actually puts us up, if no one else got any points, I think we are in the top 5 of Dodge drivers. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you're enjoying the series of making Dodge great again. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing. Thank you obviously to the channel members. Enjoy your new outro, and we'll see you in the next one.